And I grew up in a, not a spiritual family so much, but very religious family. So I grew up in church and read the Bible several times, and grew up with certain gifts, seeing angels and seeing spirits and having downloads and messages and feeling light and energy come from my hands when I worked on animals, although I did not at the time know what it was. And then I was taught to fear all of that. And then in my early 20s, I started meeting people like me in Nashville. I was like, oh, I'm not so weird after all. Maybe I am, but there's more weirdos. So I guess for over 20 years, I've studied many dozens and dozens of healing modalities, and I had mentors all over the world, mainly in indigenous healing techniques and ways of life, from Native American to Peruvian to Celtic to New Zealand to African to everything. I learn. If there's a way or a situation for me to learn, I do. And I've been an herbalist for over 10 years, a French aromatherapist. I've been working with these oils specifically for over 5 years, and sound healing, everything, you name it, angel work. I've done a lot of different modalities. Currently, I do have a holistic health and wellness business where the bulk of what I do is one-on-one client sessions with energy work, emotional release techniques. I deal with a lot of deep trauma work as well in many different ways. A lot of people ask me if I'm a Reiki master, and I am. However, that's just one channel that I do. So linear healing is phenomenal. It's beautiful. I, as a practitioner, don't understand it. So when I'm in space with someone, I have a wide channel, and whatever they call in is what comes. And sometimes it's things I've studied, and sometimes I've never heard of it in this lifetime. And I'm a downloader, so I just channel it. Sometimes it's speaking other languages or singing or drumming or whatever it may be, ancient modalities. So it's always a blessing and an adventure and to always be learning. And on my path for over 30 years, I had a debilitating autoimmune disease that Western medicine told me I could never heal or reverse, that I would be in a wheelchair when I was 40, that I would never have children. I'm 46. I have zero pain. I used to have chronic pain for 30 years, and I have 3 kids. And they're all healthy. They have zero symptoms of this particular genetic illness. And I just never understood that my fate was going to be a certain thing. I always knew that there was a greater purpose, and that the earth and God would provide all that I needed and my inner self to be on this journey. And now those challenges and tribulations that I had now afford me the ability to have great empathy for others going through that same thing. Give me the space to be able to hold space for others and be a vehicle, a conduit to assist them on their healing, because we all have the power within us to shift and change our lives and our frequency and our path. We often, if we're in certain situations where there's great trauma or victimhood put upon us, we don't often see that power or recognize it. So I try to empower people to know that the abilities are there. God gives us everything with, or whatever you believe is source, in us and around us. All we need to do is ask and discover and know that that power is there.